This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
On today's episode, we are discussing Hearts Around the Table, Kiki's fourth ingredient, which originally premiered on the Hallmark Channel on April 12th, 2025. You should come find us on Instagram. We're Girls Gone Hallmark over there.
Hey, we also have a Facebook group, Girls Gone Hallmark, in Facebook groups. Come give us a join. Sorry.
And if you have thoughts on these reviews, on our podcast, on Hallmark news you hear dropping, please reach out to us, girlsgonehallmark@gmail.com, or you can call and leave us a voicemail. Our phone number is 949-329-8090, and you will hear those read on upcoming mailbag episodes. We are going to hop right into our thoughts on Kiki's fourth ingredient with a synopsis.
Kiki is overjoyed and then overwhelmed when she agrees to cater a big wedding. Not just a big wedding, but her sister Jenna's wedding. Anyway, she turns to Clay for support, and together Kiki and Clay prove that the best ingredient is love.
Oof. Marco Dufemia returns to direct Kiki's fourth ingredient. He had previously directed Jenna's First Love and Sherry's Second Act. You might recall Marco directed other Hallmark projects like The Jane Mysteries and Jazz Ramsey, a Canine Mystery.
Neil Kimmel wrote the script for this installment. Neil was responsible for Sherry's Second Act, as well as other Hallmark projects like several of the Jane Mystery movies, as well as the previously mentioned Jazz Ramsey.
Catherine Davis stars as Kiki Davis. Catherine appeared in all 4 Unwrapping Christmas movies. Perhaps that's not one of her last names.
I don't know. Like, the way I made a face was like, could that be right? It might not be right.
Catherine appeared in all 4 Unwrapping Christmas movies that aired on Hallmark Plus in 2024. Before that, she's been in projects like Everything Puppies and Welcome to Valentine. Hold. The Unwrapping Christmas movies are another contender for movies that we might see on Christmas in July on Hallmark Channel.
Interesting. I thought you were going to be like, might be a contender that we review. And I was going to put like a hard stop on that. Torrance Coombs plays Clay. In not so shocking news, Torrance also appeared in all 4 of the Unwrapping Christmas movies, just like his co-star Catherine Davis. Other Hallmark projects include Royally Ever After and Heartland.
Mindy Cohn stars as Angie. Mindy is best known for her role on The Facts of Life and has recently been seen on the series Palm Royale. We're going to take a very quick break and come right back with our not so shocking first impression of Kiki's fourth ingredient. Hey, Wendy, what's your first impression of the final installment of the Hearts Around the Table series?
Well, it turns out the fourth ingredient was the same writer from movie number 2, and that explains a lot.
My first impression is talk about woman-on-woman crime. Why is Crystal the meanest mean girl we've ever seen on Hallmark?
Totally.
We have no redemption arc at all.
I know.
She's just mean.
It's such a mess.
Also, can I tell you, people in our Facebook group have been using woman-on-woman crime, and I just love it when stuff from the show crosses over into the fandom.
And that's
love
kind
y'all.
of a deep cut.
I know.
And I remember when we were using it a lot, because if you don't know the backstory is somebody had emailed us or messaged us in regards to a review we left.
Yeah, because we said that 2 actresses looked alike.
Right. And they were like, that's woman on woman crime as a joke. It's fine. And then we ran with it a little bit. And then we got some emails that were like, stop referring to it. Look, guys, now it's in the Girls Gone Hallmark canon. So,
Exactly.
Yep. Woman on woman crime.
The people, if we're to get into it, people who told us to stop referring it to that way were like, you guys don't need to feel bad for having an opinion. They were on our side.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let's talk what you liked about Kiki.
I have exactly 2. I like Catherine Davis. And I have said it with all 4 movies. I think the 4 main characters plus Angie and their foster storylines are the heart of the series. All the romance stuff between Kiki and Clay, least favorite part of this movie. My other thing is I thought this movie wrapped up Jenna's storyline nicely.
That is my while I think it goes against the title of the movie, I like that Jenna gets some closure and her relationship comes full circle.
It's the Jenna movie times 4.
Like you, I agree with you. I like the relationship between the siblings and the partners that we see in this movie. This is really a family movie. It's about the family. And I think it speaks to our assertion on last week's review of the Josh movie that this is the Jenna show. And one of 2 things should have happened. We should have either had 2 movies that were Jenna's storyline with some satellite characters, or it should have been the Angie show. Because I think... And while this isn't our wishes section, I think the biggest disservice that we did is Angie never once gets her own storyline that isn't in relation to one of the hearts. And so...
how did Angie become a foster mom?
We don't know anything about Angie. Angie, the Bechdel test is about, do 2 women ever appear on screen together not talking about a man, right? This is whatever the... Angie has no storyline outside of her children version of that.
Sure.
And I think we did a real disservice to her. I know we're still in likes, but let me compliment sandwich this. I did like the ending scene with the montage of everyone's storylines, bringing it all back together. And I did think that this was a necessary piece in the Hearts story. However, I don't think Kiki's love story was a necessary part of the whole.
I agree.
Kiki herself, great. Love story,
Meh. Definitely.
My list of wishes is long. Are you ready to get there?
Oh, I only have 4, so why don't you start?
I mean, I have 6. Okay, back to my first impression. Kind of hoped for some resolution with Crystal, who's rude for no reason. She's just a B word. She's just not a nice person. She snide to Kiki the entire time. I'm a fancier chef than you. Oh, that's cute. Ew, didn't like her.
Yeah, I have a did you see that about her later on, but I agree. It's not necessary. So why?
A rising tide raises all ships.
Exactly.
Do you want me to just keep going?
Yeah.
The dude should not have been standing at the altar when Jenna is not even at the wedding venue.
Oh my gosh. Just say to the people who are in the audience, is that what they're called? Your guests, just be like, she's not here yet. So we're not going to stand up here like 2 buffoons for the next 45 minutes. Let's everybody get a cocktail. Let's just mingle.
Say nothing. You don't come and stand at the altar when she's not even there.
Yeah. That was
the wedding starting late for whatever reason. It happens.
Yeah.
Standing, it's ridiculous. I found the misunderstanding of it all. Jenna's dad not knowing where she was. Jenna's dad showing up at the rehearsal dinner, Jenna not knowing that Angie... I found it inexcusable.
Okay, go ahead.
This is...
Inexcusable by whom?
Multiple players. I love Angie, but look, she needed to speak up. She needed to present Jenna with the information about her dad earlier.
Agree.
Jenna needed to know that her dad didn't know that her mother had passed. Her dad didn't know that she was in foster care. However, that being said, please help me make Jenna's dad's choices make sense.
Yes.
Because he gave up his rights because he traveled a lot. So you're telling me, I'm not judging him for traveling. Some people's jobs take them far. He and his wife split. So you're telling me I got a job that requires me to travel a lot. So my choices are travel a lot and don't see my kid a lot, or just say, I'm not going to see her at all. That's a choice that someone who loves his child makes?
Yeah. Yes. I have similar notes. I wrote, sir, you should be apologizing for not being part of her life at all. Instead, you're apologizing for not knowing that you ended up in foster care?
Come on.
It was terrible.
And he still lives in the same area, which seems kind of small townish, and he still doesn't know that her mom passed and doesn't know that she was in foster care. Mm-hmm. Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And in regards to Angie, I did think Angie was acting kind of out of pocket here. Like, it seems to me that Angie wouldn't have like went to the father without Jenna knowing. Mm-hmm. That didn't make any sense to me.
I have two more.
Okay.
Why did we send Ella and Gina and Rory on vacation through the first 85% of the movie? They show up at the wedding, poor Ella especially. And my final wish is simply a statement. It says, I love you, STFU.
I have that same more end of movies. I love yous. I hate it. I hate it. Mm-hmm. I hate it so very much. One thing we didn't talk about in your wishes is Kiki agreeing to cater a 100 guest wedding from her food truck is truly absurd.
Also, agreeing to cater the wedding of your sister that you would also like to attend. Give me a break. You have 3 brain cells, Kiki. You know this is not going to work.
It doesn't make any sense to me. And then she fires all the, like, her sous chefs and all that stuff. I'm going to do it myself. In your bridesmaid dress? Like, what are you doing? She's prepping. Oh, my God. Did you see that? But there was, like, a tray of, like, plastic wine glasses that had veggies in it. I was like, this is what we're serving?
There were, like, 6 of them, yeah.
You're prepping in your food truck? Like, why can't you get a commercial kitchen?
Well, I know. They kind of like went through it, right? Like the wedding venue oven was broken and then they didn't have other options and the restaurant was too far away and they couldn't find another rental and blah, 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 blah. It was so stupid. Like, it was so stupid.
It was.
And honestly, like the wedding venue needed to solve that. If the wedding venue doesn't have a working kitchen, then it is on the wedding venue to come up with a solution. Because obviously you need a working oven. She's like, no, I can't use the stove. And I could picture the other end of the conversation. They were just like shrugging their shoulders and moving on as if that isn't a problem that needed to be solved.
Agree.
And they just kind of were like, I guess there's no oven. We'll just have to deal with that. What?
I know. I don't get it. One thing we didn't talk about was, this is a wish. Why did Jenna ask her estranged father to walk her down the aisle? Like, it didn't really.
I felt like it was a real disservice to Angie, who was actively in your life for the past however many years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hated all of that. I was like,
I would love for you to be a guest at my wedding. Come sit with my family.
Don't give that honor to this man who was not there for you. And then just thought, poof, you didn't know where you went.
I thought I was doing what's best for you by cutting myself out of your life completely. I don't understand that.
Yes, I don't. Okay, that's all I had for wishes.
All right, time for Did You See That?
There's 2 things here. One is, when Jenna and Angie and her dad are walking down, they turn the corner to walk down the aisle and there's like a big fountain or something right in front of them. And then it's like a quick shot and then they're in front of the fountain.
You know, we went to a wedding this past summer and the church had a similar situation with that like fountain right in the middle.
It must be like a baptism fountain.
Yeah, or like
something.
a holy water situation.
Yeah.
And when people walked in, like the bridesmaids, they would have to like walk around it. Now, I noticed it when they cut to it and they never showed people walking around it at all. But I thought it was so funny because I had never seen it until I'd been in this particular church, that setup of it, like right in the middle of the aisle.
Right in the middle. Mm-hmm. Right in the middle. My other Did You See That goes back to Clay and that chef's name. What's her name?
Crystal.
So he's like getting ready to introduce her at the like dinner engagement. Rehearsal dinner. And he's like, hey, come here. And I was like, she's not a dog. Like, look, I know that she was like not the nicest character, but the way he's like summoning her is like how you would like your pet. I was like, yeah, he's like, hey, he didn't even call her by name. He didn't even say Crystal. He was like, hey, come here. Come here. Let me introduce the chef to everybody here. Like, I hated the writing in this movie.
Oh.
Okay.
My 2 Did You See That's are, at one point Kiki says the word produce, but she says it in a way I've never heard before. And I don't know if it was a mispronunciation or if this is how Catherine Davis speaks, but she said produce. It was
Produce?
It was like produce. It was weird.
Oh, interesting.
Finally, who's the random third bridesmaid?
Oh, I don't know.
Everyone else
Sherry, Kiki, and then Sherry, Kiki, and some rando.
It's not Ella.
It wouldn't be Ella. That wouldn't make sense if it was Ella.
Yeah, but the other two dudes are in it. Like, Sherry's,
yeah.
Sherry's dude is one of his
You're
groomsmen.
right. Maybe Ella, Stephanie Bennett. Maybe she wasn't available.
But she's at the wedding.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
Because the third bridesmaid is only at the wedding. She's not at the dress fitting. So why couldn't Ella just be the third bridesmaid? Not that I actually think she should have been. And I actually don't think that
Sherry's boyfriend should have been either.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or even Josh. Well, I guess he's known Josh a long time, but Sherry's boyfriend was new. Whatever. What did you rate Kiki's fourth ingredient?
2.5 stars.
Same.
It started out strong.
I know, I loved
the
that.
first one was so good.
No.
Everything else was terrible.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark, a Bramble Jam podcast. If you love this podcast, we love your 5-star ratings and reviews. Leave them in the podcast app of your choice, but please Apple Podcasts, and we'll be back next time with more Hallmark reviews. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.